Here's a hanja that's really easy to draw. 중, you just make one stroke down, one more that goes across and down like that, one on the bottom, and then one down through. Unrelated to this lesson, but I used to think that this was based on a drawing of something cutting something in half, but it turns out it's actually originally a pictograph of a military camp with a flag stuck in the middle of it. Just a small piece of information. And I taught this hanja actually already in a previous episode where we learned about how to say small, medium, and large for ordering portions of food. But today we're gonna be focusing just on this character because it does have a few more uses. This character literally means middle, but it's not only a literal meaning, it's also a figurative meaning. For example, you can have the word 중학교, middle school, or other words like 중심, 심 meaning heart, so like the middle heart, literally, or what we would say like the central part of something. But this isn't really what we're learning this character for because it's useful in some grammar forms. Let me give you that grammar form first. You take an action verb stem and you attach 는, thus turning that verb into an adjective. Then you follow that with 중 and then the verb 이다, to be. So to be in the middle of doing, literally, and that's how it's used. You can also think of this as meaning to be in the process of doing something. And it's only used to say that someone is currently in the process of, currently in the middle of doing some sort of action. Now, I should mention, although it's used for to be in the middle of, it can't be used for something like raining. You can't say in Korean with this, it is in the middle of raining. It has to be something that someone is actually doing, not any sort of just natural process that happens. And this is different actually than the regular progressive tense, 고 있다, which means to be doing something. Now, you could say that you've been learning Korean for the past 5 years. You are studying Korean. So you can have 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. I am studying Korean. Now, this could mean I'm studying Korean just like it does in English. For example, I'm studying Korean. I have my book open. Or it could also just mean I'm studying Korean in general, like I have been. Maybe I'm not right now, but yeah, I study Korean. I am studying Korean. However, if we instead change it to this form, we get a slightly different meaning. 한국어를 공부하는 중이에요. So I am in the middle of studying Korean versus I am studying Korean. And if you use this form, it doesn't just mean in general I'm learning Korean, but right then, in that moment that I say this sentence, I am studying Korean right now. So I have my books open, I'm learning vocabulary. 한국어를 공부하는 중이에요. I am in the middle of studying Korean, not just I am studying Korean in general. But as you can see, the 중이다 form emphasizes something is going on right now. In fact, because 중이다 is actually just used to emphasize something going on right now, it often gets combined together with the progressive tense. So I'll show you what that looks like. 한국어를 공부하고 있는 중이에요. So I am in the middle of studying Korean. Just like saying 공부하는 중이에요 also means right now you are doing it, but it emphasizes even further, like right now I'm in the middle of studying Korean, or I'm studying Korean currently. Right now I'm in the middle of studying Korean. Like that. So it's used simply to emphasize that something's going on right now, and because of that you'll see all of these 3 variations. Just know that they're each slightly different. But there's still something else that this 중이다 can be used for. Some nouns can attach 중 right after them without the need of any verb. For example, you can take whatever noun is used with any 하다 verb and attach 중 instead. So you can use 공부하는 중이다, or you can just use 공부, the noun, studying, 공부 중이다, to be in the middle of studying. So in this way, it's like you're not just describing that someone is doing something, but you're emphasizing that that's the current status of that person or that thing. Not just that that person is in the middle of studying, but that person is currently, their status is studying Korean. So this could be like their status, what they're doing, how they're feeling, what's going on. And this sort of usage, though, is more common in writing than it is in speaking. So I would recommend definitely being aware of this usage, but when you're speaking, to simply use this usage because it'll usually sound more natural. So then, what are some common nouns that use this form? Well, there's actually quite a lot. I'm just going to list some. Feel free to write any down. 생각, meaning a thought. 고민, meaning a worry or concern. 회의, 강의, 상담, 수업, meeting, lecture, consultation, and a class. 공사, for construction. 보관, for storage. 다이어트, so someone's on a diet. 세일, something's on sale. 촬영, meaning filming. In fact, I'm using this one right now. And 공부, to study. And there are a lot more. These are just some of the most common ones that I've seen. So let me give you an example sentence. 지금 공사 중이에요. Under construction. 공사 meaning construction, 공사 중. Literally in the middle of construction. So right now it is under construction. The most common place where you'll see this form used is on written signs. So if you're walking down the street and you see a sign for construction, it's going to say something like 공사 중. In fact, the sign might just only say 공사 중. Under construction. Okay, so that's how you use this form. That's what it means. Have you seen this form used before? Where did you see it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in our next episode. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.